CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. The province is setting out how Budget 2026 will invest in schools, classrooms and students. The province is putting $10.8 billion toward education this budget, up about 7% from last year. They say the budget will cover enough funding to hire 1,600 more teachers and 800 more support staff in the coming years. And the total education budget will continue to climb over the next 3 years to help cover a rising population in the province.
Getting Alberta's world-class school system fully caught up to our recent population growth will be a multi-year effort. It will require more staff, new and expanded infrastructure, and innovative approaches like the complexity teams that we're deploying into schools with the highest needs.
The Alberta Teachers Association has been calling for funding to address classroom complexity, staffing shortages, and support for students with specialized needs. The ATA is speaking on the budget later today, and we'll have full coverage of the budget itself tomorrow. Alberta will transition hundreds of sheriffs into police officers in a step toward creating a provincial police force. The bill tabled yesterday would mean all Alberta Sheriff employees would move to the new Alberta Sheriff's Police Service under the same union and labor contracts. It would allow for about 600 sheriffs to undergo about 6 weeks of training to become police officers. They are currently peace officers who perform police-like duties such as highway patrol and fugitive apprehension. Other peace officers who work in court security and prisoner transport will continue as normal.
What we are doing here, again, when we talk about augmenting and supporting police services, is this is the fastest path to get at least 600 or so police officers on the streets of Alberta trying to assist all police of jurisdiction in calls to service right now.
The new branch will work alongside current police services and RCMP and not replace them yet. Exact costs won't come out until Thursday's budget, which will see a multi-billion-dollar deficit. More first-hand accounts from passengers arriving in Calgary last night from Mexico.
So they would stop a bus and then they'll throw all the people out of the bus, then they would burn the bus. They weren't there to really hurt anybody. That's between the federales and the army and them.
But we can see the
smoke,
the fire from there, yeah. And we had to stay at the hotel. Like we cannot go out.
The resort we were in, I mean, they really took care of us. And some of those people have been working for 24 hours. And I can't say enough about the people.
3 WestJet flights took off from Calgary yesterday, bound for Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara. These were the most impacted areas of Mexico after locals and tourists were told to shelter in place because of drug cartel violence. Calgary police are asking for help to find a third suspect in a jewelry store robbery. This is Joed Leonard-Smith. He is 6 feet tall, about 198 pounds, bald with blue eyes and tattoos. He's one of 3 men charged for a jewelry store robbery on January 8th on Dalhousie Drive Northwest. 2 other men are in custody and are scheduled to appear in court today. The cost of the stolen jewelry and damage to the store is estimated at $200,000. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. And Calgary police have charged 2 men after what they call an attempted kidnapping and assault. Investigators say an officer stepped in when 3 men were assaulting a man a week ago in Mission. The men got away in a Toyota, but 2 of them were later arrested. The victim, a man in his 20s, has been released from hospital. Police say the attack was connected to organized crime. Your Calgary Transit ticket transfer could now last you 120 minutes instead of 90. Calgary Council passed a motion yesterday directing administration to extend the time with a full report back by April 28th. Ward 14 Councillor Landon Johnson says the 90-minute limit was set when Calgary was much smaller. And 120 minutes or 2 hours will make most of the city accessible with just 1 ticket. Plus, he says the extra 30 minutes will add real value with a fare now $4. It's Pink Shirt Day to raise awareness and funds for anti-bullying initiatives. It was started in Canada in 2007. Since then, it has been recognized annually worldwide as a day to stand against bullying. Schools across the country today will be a sea of pink, with students showing their support. Pink Shirt Day is held on the last Wednesday in February every year. And plenty of pink Tuesday at the Saddle Dome as the Calgary Hitmen hosted their Be Brave End Bullying game. Blake Vanek scored late in the third period to give the Hitmen a 5-4 win over Moose Jaw. Thousands of school children wearing pink were there to cheer the Hitmen on. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnewscalgary.ca.